We are living in some bizarre times, folks. Um, the amount of dissonance that's going on in this country on all sides is it's astounding. I mean, you've got the Trump supporters that at this point have to know that the GOP tax policy that they just passed hurts everyone except for the rich and wealthy. I mean, they have to be aware of it. And one thing that makes me laugh a lot, or not a lot, it makes me laugh, but it also makes me kind of sad, is, you have all of these, all of the racist white Trump supporters, and I am not one of these people that assumes, if in case there are new listeners, I'm not one of these people that assumes every single Trump supporter is a racist. I'm just talking about that particular niche within his base. It always makes me laugh, but makes me sad at the same time when you see them getting excited about the possibility of some of the social safety nets being cut, especially cuts to welfare and food stamps or whatever. It makes me laugh because I know that when you hear or you see someone who's white talking about how, the lazy are going to have to work and there's going to be no more fucking, entitlements or whatever, that they're excited about. I mean, assuming that they're not rich and wealthy, let's just assume that they are just as middle class or in the poor section of society as the rest of us. Whenever you see or hear a white person talking about this, it's because they have no idea who is hurt the most when cuts to these programs are put into place, and it stems because they have done no research whatsoever. They've been convinced maybe their entire lives that the only people on welfare are black and brown people, and that and the few white people that are on it are just I don't know. I mean, they assume that there's only few. They assume that the majority of people utilizing these these government programs are black and brown. But if they did their research, they'd find out that a majority of welfare recipients are white. So the fact that they're taking great pleasure in basically hurting themselves is funny. It's funny to me, but it's also sad because I realized that they've been fucking duped into thinking that the problems of this country or the reason that their life sucks has to do with somebody with less power and less money than they have. Last time I checked, poor people don't really have any power or any money to affect change in this country. Last time I checked, it was the rich and wealthy that make decisions like moving the factory across the border or overseas. It is the rich and wealthy that decide that they'd rather, instead of have human workers, that they'll just opt for robots, thus putting people out of work. I don't see too many poor and powerless CEOs and corporate owners. I really don't see any of those. So it makes me sad because they've been convinced that the problem isn't the rich and wealthy. It's these black and brown people that have no power and no money. But anyway, moving on from that, and the dissonance isn't just on the right. It's on the left as well, or well, I wouldn't really call them the left. They're more like center right. The remaining Hillary supporters and the establishment Democrats that are still blowing that horn of things would have been better had Hillary Clinton won the nomination. As you can tell, I am not I didn't vote for Hillary. I didn't vote for Trump. I voted for Jill Stein when I couldn't vote for Bernie Sanders. And for those of you that are like, oh, your vote for Jill Stein, it cost Hillary the election, or it was a wasted vote, or it was a protest vote, or it was just an example of me being a petulant child. These are the same people that will say that, but but also in the same breath talk about how she won the popular vote, right? So if she won the popular vote, my vote for Jill Stein didn't do shit. The problem is the Electoral College. The problem is superdelegates. The problem is we don't have a representative government. But it's strange. It's bizarre watching them do this. And this idea that, if Hillary would have been, elected, things would have been so much better. We wouldn't have these fucking problems, and, and this tax bill wouldn't have come about. And it always puzzles me when people take that stance, because it shows that you have no idea how we really ended up with Donald Trump. Most people think it came down to Jill Stein, Susan Sarandon, and some people that host shows on YouTube that cost or that were the cause of Trump. But all that is a sign that you haven't really done any research. You have no idea how we actually ended up with Trump. And I'll tell you, it has nothing to do with my vote for fucking Jill Stein. What it has to do with is 30 plus years of neoliberal bullshit. This idea that voting the lesser of two evils would have made things better for us is just a sign that you have no idea the type of shit that the past 8 years that took place, that caused a lot of people to be so repulsed by the idea of voting for Hillary Clinton, they decided to turn towards a fucking idiot with a dead weasel on his fucking head. I mean, think about that. I know that there's a clip of what is his name? Something Radigan. Dan Radigan? I don't know if that's his first name. Where he talks about how, he puts it a little more clearly than I'm putting it, but he basically asks, like, well, how fucking repulsive, how disgusted people must have been with Democrats and Hillary Clinton that they actually saw Donald Trump as the answer to their problems. It's 30 fucking years, and including the last 8. And this idea that the only people that voted for Trump are fucking racist, well, they fucking run the numbers. They did the fucking studies. It turns out that people that voted for Barack Obama twice voted for Trump. So how exactly are those people racist? They voted in 2008 for a black guy with a Muslim sounding name, even though he wasn't Muslim at all. And then they voted for him again in 2012. Are you telling me that between 2012 and 2016, they suddenly decided that they fucking hate black and brown people? No. They were disgusted by what didn't happen, the change that never fucking showed up with Obama. And it's the same change that hasn't happened since the fucking late 70s in this country that people are frustrated with. And it's the reason that we have Trump. But this idea that, tell me, what has Trump done that so-called lesser evil Democrats haven't? I mean, the whole, with this tax bill, right? The fighting for the rich and wealthy, they've done that. Barack Obama's decision to fucking, instead of break up the banks, to make them bigger, instead of bailing out Main Street, he bailed out Wall Street. That's looking out for the interests of the rich and wealthy. And that's, I mean, what's the difference? The fucking military industrial complex. You know, Trump is all for bombing the shit out of everybody, and so was fucking President Obama. I mean, he took the 2 illegal wars that Bush Jr. got us into and expanded them to like 7. Do some research about what happened to Libya during, Obama's run and Hillary Clinton's run as Secretary of State. Just take a gander at that. The fact that, in Syria, we actually ran out of bombs. We were bombing them so fucking much that we actually ran out. So, a love affair with the fucking military industrial complex, check. I mean, you had fucking Democrats just vote not too long ago to expand the Pentagon's fucking military budget by like $600 billion fucking dollars. What else? Anti-fucking union. It was fucking Bill Clinton that basically sealed fucking union's fate during his presidency with his whole union busting and the right to work. He didn't do right to work, but it's just they have been no fucking differences. What else? Fucking what else? They've, cutting fucking social programs. They've done that too. In fact, anytime, no matter who's in fucking office, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, whenever they talk about, fucking, attacking the deficit or reducing debt, the first fucking things that both sides go after are social programs. And usually those social programs involve welfare and Medicaid and Medicare. Bill Clinton, during his presidency, tried to not subsidize. He tried to God damn it. I forget what the fucking word is, but basically what he tried to do is he tried to take the social Social Security and basically invest the money into the fucking into the stock market and let that determine people's fate. So if the stock market went up, hooray, you got tons of money. But if it fucking crashed, you were assed out. He tried to do that. The only thing that stopped him from doing that was the Monica Lewinsky fucking trial. And if you don't believe me, go look it up. He had a fucking secret backdoor plan with Newt Gingrich to fucking do this. It was privatized. That's the word that I was looking for. He was trying to privatize Social Security. Look it up. Heavy-handed on deportations. I already talked. I mean, Obama, like I said, he fucking, or I don't know if I said it because I've had to restart this goddamn podcast like 4 times now. But, he fucking deported, millions. I think it was like somewhere in the neighborhood of like 3 to 4 million fucking people during his run as fucking commander-in-chief, which is by far more people than any president ever has deported people. I don't know. I mean, it's just this idea that she would have been better, considering her track record, the fact that she voted for the Patriot Act, which basically removed habeas corpus, turned us into a surveillance state, the fact that she voted for the Iraq War. I mean, she's voted fucking in favor of every single war we've fucking or skirmish that has taken place in the last 16 fucking years. Fucking Obama, he made Bush's tax cuts permanent. Hillary Clinton, you know, there's people that are, if you pay attention, I guess there's someplace in the Midwest, I'm not really sure, and I apologize for not having, you know, or not knowing exactly, but there's a place called Bears Ears that Trump just voted to basically allow oil companies to invade native people's land and drill for fucking oil. Hillary Clinton went on a campaign of let's frack the entire fucking planet. Obama fucking opened up the Antarctic or the Arctic twice for oil drilling. His policy was everything under the sun that you could do. So, I mean, please explain to me how exactly putting in an establishment fucking Democrat, somebody that is bought and paid for by corporations, how things here would be any better. The only fucking difference, and I've said this a million fucking times over this podcast, the only difference is that the people on the left wouldn't be so fucking upset. They wouldn't be so angry because their guy fucking won. And then, you know, of course, the right, you know, the fucking Republicans and you know, whatever, they would be fucking upset and be like, oh, this is a fucking travesty. Even though it doesn't fucking matter whether we have Trump or whether we have Hillary or Obama or Bush or fucking Bill Clinton or Reagan. Nothing ever fucking changes, and the rich fucking, you know, the rich and wealthy's well-being is always fucking looked out for, and the poor and middle class are given a bigger fucking cock up their ass. That's the only fucking difference. And that isn't even a fucking difference because nothing has fucking changed. So all this dissonance that's going on, all this, oh, it would have been fucking better if Hillary, you know, she would. No, the only thing that would have been different is you would, you know, if you were a Hillary supporter or you're a Democrat, you'd be happy and, you know, and the other guys would be upset. That's all it fucking basically boils down to. But as far as anything changing, as far as anybody's life getting better, no, none of that would happen under Hillary Clinton. You know, I've said this numerous times on this podcast that if you can stop fucking feeling sorry for yourself for being upset, you could actually see Donald Trump as you know, that there's a benefit to his presidency. Now, this is no advocacy for Trump. I think he is fucking horrific. But I mean, I've said this before. One of the beauties of having Trump as president is he has ripped the fucking the face off of what's been going on in this country since fucking forever. I mean, think about all of the fucking politicians that have been exposed, you know, both on the right and the left. Although I don't like calling Democrats the left because they're not the fucking left. They are center right. They're not fucking left. They're not actually fucking Democrats. Their policy, their perspective more closely resembles moderate fucking Republicans. But whatever, you know. The fact that so many people have been exposed for either criminal activity or corruption or, you know, or I mean, look at fucking, what's his name? Fucking Cory Booker, right? He had this image of being like, oh, you know, he could be the next fucking Barack Obama. And then Bernie Sanders proposes a bill that would allow Americans to purchase cheaper fucking medication from Canada, and Cory Booker fucking vetoes it. And it just so happens that he fucking was, you know, he had taken, you know, tens of thousands of fucking dollars from the pharmaceutical companies. Now, of course, he changed his his vote after the fucking bill was dead. But let's not pretend that he had a sudden awakening of consciousness or conscience. It was just his image had been flushed down the fucking toilet, and he was trying to preserve it. That's the only reason that he fucking came out against against his own fucking vote. So this idea that the biggest problem in this country is the Republicans. No, that's a fucking they are a fucking problem, but that is a sign that you don't really know the entire story. It also shows that you're very fucking biased if you actually think that the Democrats, or at least what's considered a Democrat, is any fucking better. The only difference between today's current fucking Democrats and Republicans is Republicans will openly, shit on you and stab you in the fucking back. Democrats, on the other hand, they'll smile in your face. They'll try and convince you that, I'm on your side. We're the party of the fucking worker, even though they haven't been on the side of workers since fucking FDR. The only difference is they'll smile in your face while they fucking stab you in the back. This is why everybody assumes or assumed that Obama was such a great fucking president, because if you looked at the fucking surface, the fact that he could give a good speech, he was, a little more dignified in comparison to fucking Trump. He didn't have, or he wasn't fucking on the verge of starting World War III with Russia or fucking North Korea. But that is really, all it is just surface shit. If you take a look at his policies, the shit that he pushed and the things that he did, you'd realize he was a shitty fucking president. Maybe one of the fucking worst. And this fucking bribe tour that he's now on, where he's, giving all these speeches to these Wall Street companies that, just so happen to got, bailed out or whatever during his presidency, and the fact that he's collecting or he's doing speeches at $400 to $500 a pop. This idea that that's not him basically collecting fucking bribes after he was out of office is fucking ridiculous. There was nobody, even if I had 500,000 or just 100,000 to give, just some spare fucking money lying around to give to somebody to come fucking talk, there isn't one person, past or fucking present, I would give $500,000 to come fucking speak for. There's nobody. So this idea that these corporations, what is he over there talking about? What could he possibly be saying in those speeches that is worth $400,000 to $500,000 fucking dollars? You're an idiot if you think that what's going on is that it isn't him fucking touring the country, taking all of that fucking sweet bribe money that was promised to him while he was in office. The man pushed for TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, during the general election. Now, for those of you that are like, well, what the fuck is the TPP? It's basically NAFTA on fucking steroids. And for those of you who are like, well, what the fuck is NAFTA? Well, basically, when NAFTA was enacted, it opened up our fucking borders. It opened up the trade. It basically made it possible for these huge corporations to basically pick up and move their factories and companies overseas or across the border to, build their shit for cheaper and basically not pay any fucking taxes over here. NAFTA did that. And TPP was basically NAFTA on fucking steroids. He voted for that, or was pushing that during the general election when Hillary Clinton was trying to get elected. And, Hillary Clinton voted in favor of TPP like 40 something fucking times before she realized that nobody fucking wanted that. Kind of like, when she changed her stance on gay marriage. Right, because everybody conveniently fucking forgets that Bill Clinton is the one that signed DOMA into fucking law. And for those of you who are like, well, what's DOMA? DOMA is the Defense of Marriage Act, which basically shit on any gay couples that wanted to get married. They were basically saying that marriage is between a man and a woman. Bill Clinton signed that into fucking office. Hillary Clinton didn't change her fucking mind about gay marriage until 2013. That's fucking only 4 years ago. And the only reason that she fucking did that is because everybody had finally decided, you know what, who gives a fuck if two dudes or two chicks want to get married? So this idea that, it would have been so much better, you're fooling yourself. And what you need to do is you need to stop with your fucking tribal bullshit. You need to stop with your, it's the black or the brown people's problem or fault for the reason the country's in the state of fucking dismay that it's in. Can you tell that dismay was not the word I was looking for? But, whatever. The fucking problem is and always fucking has been the rich and wealthy basically being catered to. If you're in the middle class or you're poor and you hate, somebody that's black or brown who has less money and less power than you do, collectively, obviously if you hate like Kobe Bryant, well, obviously that's an outlier within the situation I'm talking about. But in general, black and brown people have less money and less power than even than you do. So this idea that it's their fault. They're the ones that caused all the... It's horseshit. What it is somebody higher up on the fucking ladder with more money and more power has convinced you to, instead of focusing on them and the fact that they're, robbing the country blind and making your life fucking miserable, they have convinced you that it's their fault. It isn't our fault. It isn't us with the fucking $8,000 fucking Armani suits and the yachts and shit. It's not our fucking fault. It's those people with less power and less money than you. So, I get it. If you're one of these people, you hate a particular group for whatever fucking reason, fine. Continue to fucking hate, but stop focusing your fucking energy on them and focus on the people that are actually at fault for the reason this country is so fucked up. I hate to tell you I told you so. But I fucking told you so. When everybody was like, we gotta, the fucking, when the tax bill was getting ready to pass, or even when the healthcare, although that didn't fucking pass, but, everybody's like, we gotta sign these fucking petitions and we gotta engage in these fucking hashtag protests. Or my favorite is, we've got to, if we're going to protest or we're going to stand up and fight, well, we've got to do it peacefully. On what fucking planet would that work? Maybe that worked in like the 60s or the 70s. Maybe it worked a long fucking time ago, but it ain't going to work anymore. These fucking rich cunts don't care that you fucking overloaded their voicemail. They don't care about your hashtag protests. They don't care about your fucking petitions. They don't care about your clever little fucking signs or the fact that you and a group of fucking 50 people put on rubber fucking dinosaur outfits. They don't give a shit about any of that. Because at the end of the day, they don't have to listen to you. They know that you can't do anything. They know that they have the police and the military on their side. But the problem is that the military's starting to understand that, you know what? These rich cunts are basically just using us to go out and fight their fucking bullshit wars so they can make more money and have bigger fucking yachts. The police haven't quite figured it out yet. The police are still very much acting like the rich and wealthy fucking attack dogs. But sooner or later, they'll figure it out as well. That all they are attack dogs. That have been put in place to keep the middle class and poor from fucking interrupting their delicate fucking little lives. The days of peaceful fucking protests and sit-ins and all of that, it's over. I'm not saying go out there and get violent. But if you are going to do that, and again, I'm not advocating that you do, but if you are going to fucking do that, can you please stop tearing up your own goddamn neighborhoods and go to their gated communities, go to their fucking businesses, and fuck up their shit? You think that they really give a shit that you trash the fucking CVS in your neighborhood? They don't give a fuck about that. You have to go after them. So if you are going to trash shit, go trash their shit. But if you wanted a more or a less physical way of solving these fucking problems, then a lot of us or all of us have to fucking sacrifice some convenience. We have to decide that, you know what, I don't need to fucking buy that latest fucking gadget. I mean, think about what would happen, right? If everybody decided that from this point forward, we're never going to buy another fucking Apple product. We're not going to buy it until you fucking do something about the income inequality that's going on in this country. And what if from Apple we decided, well, you know what? We're no longer going to fucking buy shit through Amazon. Probably the biggest predatory capitalist fucking corporation in the world at this point. Could you imagine how quickly Jeff Bezos and all of these fucking cunts would be like, all right, we better fucking do something because I'm not fucking making any more money off of these fucking chumps. My point is that they don't, if you want to fucking get them to at least even on the surface fucking change anything, you have to hit them where it fucking hurts the most. Their fucking bank accounts. You stop giving these rich fucking cunts money and they'll listen. Or, if you prefer the more physical route, then you have to fucking storm the gated communities. You have to convince their drivers, their chefs, their fucking nannies to fucking turn against them. You have to be willing to fucking sacrifice to change shit. These fucking Twitter and Facebook protests, they don't do a goddamn thing. They really fucking don't. I mean, they might put a band-aid on a situation. They might, like for a minute act as an obstacle towards the ultimate evil shit that they're planning to do, but they never really fucking stop it. If you think that the healthcare bill, which they've already sort of found a loophole, using this fucking tax bill. But if you think that healthcare is still fucking, or it's safe because you defeated it 2 times, the fact that after the first time they decided to try it again lets you know that they have no fucking plan of stopping. All they're trying to do is find another way to fucking trick you into believing it. And especially those of you that are Republicans and Trump supporters, you fall for it every fucking time. And the problem is, this is the reason why you fall for it. I'll give you guys an out. I'll extend a fucking olive branch. And the same thing goes for the center right fucking Democrats. Whenever a Democrat is in power, they convince you that well, the problem is that you don't feel the repercussions of the policy they put into action until a couple years later. I'm sorry, it wouldn't be a podcast if my phone didn't fucking bing bong. The problem is you don't see the repercussions of the shit that you vote for until a few years later. And usually by the time that happens, the president or whatever, the people in power have already sort of moved out of office and it's somebody else. And then you suddenly fucking start blaming the new guy. That's kind of what happened with Obama at first, right? George W. Bush fucking caused a fucking recession. He got us into multi-trillion-dollar fucking wars. The housing industry fucking collapsed, and it all landed on Obama's fault. Now, I'm not giving Obama an out because his choices after he got power only made the fucking problem worse. But a lot of people were like, well, what the fuck, Obama? Why is our deficit so high? Why is this happening? Why is that? Completely missing the fact that fucking Bush is the one that sort of got the ball rolling on that bullshit. And that's the thing that's going on right now is, you guys are all like, oh yeah, Trump, he's making fucking America great again by fucking me over. But you don't realize it, or you won't realize it until a couple of years later when he's out of office and could give two fucking shits about how your life fell to fucking pieces. And you'll be busy blaming, whoever else fucking, unless it's another Republican. But if it happens to be a Democrat, you'll blame them for all of the fucking shit that Trump caused. This is exactly how we ended up with Trump in the first place to the people that voted for Hillary Clinton. You allowed yourselves to be fucking, you bought the bullshit of fucking snake oil salesmen, just like, Republicans or Trump supporters, they bought fucking Trump's snake oil fucking sales pitch. And the reason that you're so easily fucking fooled is because the things that they put into effect don't happen right away. Right? So for those of you that are like, oh, rah, Trump fucking, his tax bill is awesome. Well, come tell me how you feel in about 2 or 3 years, 4 years down the line, when, you can no longer fucking afford to live in your house or pay your bills or feed your family or any of that fucking shit. Tell me how you feel then. But see, that's the problem, is because everybody just, they don't look ahead. They just look at what's happening now. And especially right now, it's all about my team winning in some way. Things have basically boiled down, at least politically, have basically boiled down to if liberals fucking hate it, then conservatives fucking love it. That is what it's fucking boiled down to. I talked about this on the last podcast, that fucking shirt fiasco with Walmart, right? That, the fucking what the fuck, reporters and the liberals, they're so upset about the fucking shirt, but of course conservatives and the right wing, they're gonna fucking run out and buy these fucking shirts by the fucking handful, because it has basically been reduced to a petty game of I can fucking, or who can make the other fucking more mad and upset or triggered or whatever the fucking bullshit is. And for those of you that are upset about the tax bill or upset about, whatever the fuck it is that you're upset about, I'm telling you again, your fucking hashtag protests, your petitions, your fucking phone calls, your clever fucking signs, it's all fucking meaningless. They're not going to, they don't give a shit. If they gave a shit, then there's no fucking way any of the Republicans would fucking would have voted yes, or at least a majority of the Republicans would have voted yes on that fucking tax bill. I mean, even fucking John McCain voted in favor of it, the so-called hero of the left when it came to Medicare, right? And the only reason that he fucking blocked that is because he just went through some fucking traumatic brain fucking surgery. So he understood, like, oh, okay, you know, it would be fucked up if people were kicked off of their healthcare plans. But he's one of, you know, he's definitely fucking a part of the rich, wealthy elite. So of course he's on board for fucking over the middle class and the poor. You need to stop looking at, you know, if you're voting in favor of the fucking horrific shit that the Republicans always want to fucking do, you need to look down the fucking road. And the same thing goes with Democrats. I'm sorry, but, you know, the being, you know, smiling in your face while fucking you behind your back is much worse, at least in my opinion, than the way that Trump is, where it's just outright fucking evil right up front. There is no mistake about his fucking intentions or his feelings on things. You know, he is out to fuck people over. He always has been, even before becoming president. The one thing that I can appreciate about Republicans is the fact that they're going to try and fuck the middle class and the poor. You already know it. You know, and especially if they have the ability to try and hurt people of color, you know that they're going to fucking do it. And which blows my fucking mind when you find that there are, you know, black or Latin or Asian or Middle Eastern fucking Republicans. What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you actually think that you're somehow different than your fucking middle class and poorer counterparts? Do you really think that when they look at you, they're like, oh yeah, they might say, oh, you're one of the fucking good ones. But the fact that they even think some fucking ignorant shit like that should be enough for you to be like, fuck them. And I'm not saying it's any better with the Democrats. The Democrats are very highly fucking involved in identity politics. They love appearing to be the fucking defender of people of color, or, you know, the LGBT VQRS fucking community. You know, they love the optics of appearing to be the defenders of fucking of rights and whatever, equality. But none of their fucking policies really fucking back that up. None of them. You know, so enough with the fucking, you know, the apathetic fucking protests. Nothing is going to get done by you fucking retweeting somebody's angry fucking article or attaching a fucking hashtag to it. So, you know, the days of doing the fucking bare minimum are fucking over. Everybody needs to have some skin in the game at this point. Meaning you must be willing to fucking sacrifice. You know, I think the thing with you know, like boycotting fucking Amazon, I think that would make a huge fucking difference if suddenly everybody decided, fuck Amazon, I'm just gonna either go to the stores and buy locally, or I'm gonna fucking find a way to purchase the shit that I want from a different fucking source. And yeah, maybe it's gonna cost a little bit more, but if it fucking gets these rich fucking cunts to stop trying to fucking make everybody else's life shitty, then it's fucking worth it. And one thing I heard, and I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know, you know, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, but you might want to try going to a store to purchase whatever it is that you feel like you need to fucking purchase, compare their price to what Amazon is offering, and then ask the people there. Say, look, I want to buy it. I want to buy from you. I want to buy locally. This is what Amazon is fucking offering. Can you, is there wiggle room on the fucking, on the sale price here? You may not get the same price as Amazon or cheaper, but you'll definitely, or cheaper than Amazon's price, but you will definitely, I assume, assuming that they are interested in fucking making a profit, they will negotiate with you. Everything is a negotiation. Just because it says, this thing costs that, doesn't mean that that's permanent or that it can't be fucking negotiated down. Especially in these local shops. Now, if you're going to like Target or fucking Walmart, although I don't know why you'd fucking go to Walmart at this point, but they may be, or they're probably not going to be willing to negotiate with you because they realize that, so what if I lose your fucking business? There's, 10 million other people that are going to come into this fucking store. But if you go to a local place that's probably struggling, they will fucking work with you. You want shit to change, then I'm sorry. You got to drop the tribalism fucking bullshit. If you're racist, for once, you're just going to have to put that shit aside for a second and think about, it's kind of like being a part of a union, right? Versus being on your own. Right, you have more power, more negotiating skills or abilities or power if you go to the boss with the rest of the fucking company with you versus if you went there by yourself. Yeah, you might not like your coworkers. You might think that they stink or I don't know, that they're after your fucking women. Whatever it is that you've convinced yourself is a reason to fucking hate them. The reality is that we all need to stand together and come at these fucking rich and wealthy cunts and stop waiting for them to one day realize that, maybe it's not such a good idea to fuck over everybody that has less money and less power than me. Because that shit ain't gonna fucking happen. So yeah, you got to put your racism bullshit aside. I'm not saying that you got to suddenly love everybody. I'm not saying that, but you need to at least understand what side of the fucking line you're on. And I'm sorry, you're not on the same side as those with fucking yachts and, $8,000 fucking suits. You're not. All you've become is their attack dog. All you've become is a distraction for everybody else. Pick a fucking side. And before you fucking choose, make sure that you're fighting on the right fucking side. Because I'm going to tell you what, just because you suck up to the rich and wealthy doesn't mean that one day you're going to be rich and fucking wealthy. At least not on their fucking level. You want shit to change, then you got to stand with people of color and people of different sexual orientations and all of that shit. You got different religions. You got to stand together and fight as a collective fucking unit. Or you can fucking not do that and just watch the country crumble because you decided that your fucking, your team was more important than the entire fucking country. You don't have to like each other. You don't have to love each other. You don't have to go fucking have lunch or fucking take your kids on play dates. You don't have to do any of that shit. The only thing you have to do is focus on the right fucking problem. And I'm sorry, the problem isn't the fucking the dipshit, or I don't want to call you a dipshit, but you kind of are, that fucking voted for Trump. Your problem isn't the fucking triggered liberal guy that wants a fucking safe space. That's not the fucking problem. The problem are the rich fucking cunts that are in control of our government and control of our fucking lives. They are the fucking problem. And with that, I think I'll end it here. I had some other shit that I wanted to talk to you guys about, but, a lot of time has gone by, so, I don't know. Anyway, all right, so it's fucking, what is it, Tuesday? So, the week just started. I get it. I don't mean to spend, 50 fucking minutes, almost an hour screaming at you, but I'm fucking, I've said it in almost every single podcast in the past couple of months. I'm fucking sick and tired of the fucking stupidity that's going on in this country. Everybody is focused on everything except the actual fucking problem. You want to fix shit, then you have to do shit. And by do shit, it means you must fucking get off your goddamn phones and computers with your stupid fucking hashtag protests and your petitions, and you gotta fucking actually do something in order to change shit. I know that we're fucking, as a society, we've become very fucking lazy and very dependent on these fucking gadgets and gizmos and shit, but that, if you don't realize that was all a fucking, I know this is heading into conspiracy theory fucking land here, but if what you haven't realized is that those gadgets and gizmos, those constant pursuit of the latest this and the latest fucking that, it's all to distract you from the fucking rich cunts they've got both fucking hands in your pocket. And, or they got one hand in your pocket and the other one up your fucking wife's skirt or whatever. It's all designed to keep you fucking focused and running on that fucking wheel like a hamster and just not pay attention to the actual fucking thieves that are, robbing the country blind and making your life fucking miserable. You have to fucking sacrifice. I already said that with me, like I have an iPhone 7 Plus. I've decided that when this shits the bed, when it no longer fucking works, when the fucking updates only make the phone work less fucking efficient, I'm done with fucking cell phones. The 1 week I had without a cell phone was probably, well, I don't want to say it's like the greatest week I ever had because that's fucking silly, but I felt very fucking free. It felt nice to be detached from the fucking world and from everybody. It was like a fucking weight had been lifted off my goddamn shoulders. So when this shits the bed, I'm done. I don't care how fucking cool the new phones will be. I don't care what sort of functions or how well their fucking camera is, or if you can see shit on both sides, or if it, if you chucked it down the road, it would, somehow fucking find its way back to you. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit anymore. So when this phone's done, I'm done with it. So, I don't know. That's part of the shit that I'm fucking doing. I've got to, just like you, I've got to wean myself off the fucking Amazon tit. I've already stopped using Google. I use DuckDuckGo now. I'm doing what I can do. Besides fucking sitting here for an hour yelling at you guys. I'm doing what I can fucking do. And I'm willing to do more. But everybody else also needs to do shit other than get on fucking, Twitter or Facebook and sit around in a fucking worldwide circle jerk, pissing and moaning, but really doing nothing. Nothing. Why I say it like that? Anyway, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. I was trying to end the fucking podcast and I went back into it. But anyway, I hope you're having a good week thus far. As far as I know, last week, I only gave you a podcast on Tuesday and I gave you one on Friday instead of my usual Thursday. But I've got presentations and shit for school and I've got finals. So I do the podcast when I fucking can. in about a week or two, all of that shit will calm down and I can go back to my more regular fucking schedule. But anyways, if you are new to the podcast, welcome. If you've been, a fan of the podcast, thanks for sticking with me. You can't still, for some fucking reason, refuse to subscribe, even though I know you're listening. I check the fucking analytics. I know that I have a hefty fucking listening audience, but for some reason you cunts don't fucking subscribe. I don't get it. Does it take that much effort? Is it too much commitment to fucking subscribe to a podcast? I mean, especially if you enjoy what you're hearing. I don't get it, unless maybe you don't. If you don't fucking like it, well then obviously that makes sense why you wouldn't subscribe. But if you fucking enjoy what you're listening to, why is it such a fucking big deal to subscribe? I don't know. Anyway, you do whatever the fuck you want. But all right, I'll talk to you again sometime later this fucking week. All right. Just like always, don't take any shit and go fuck yourself. Peace.